Lesson is over divide fractions. It's over getting a whole number, dividing it by a proper fraction. Let's review what we learned about multiplying mixed number in a previous video. Lyle is putting his videotapes on a shelf. The shelf is 12 inches long. If each videotape is 1.5 inches wide, how many videotapes can he put side by side? So put 1.5. Here's another 1.5. That makes 3. Here's another 1.5. Here's another 1.5. That makes another 3. So far we have 6 inches. 1.5, 1.5. That makes 3. And then 1.5, 1.5. And that makes 3. So 6. So total, as the 12 inches, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 8 videotapes can fit on a shelf that is 12 inches long. So Keisha has 4 chocolate bars, blah, 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 blah. She offered each of her friends 1/2 of a bar. Which of the following could be used to determine the number of friends that will receive chocolate? So we're finding groups of halves. How many halves go into 4 chocolate bars? So we have 4 bars. We're dividing it into halves. B, C is the answer. So Keisha will be able to give chocolate to 8 friends. So it's asking how many halves go into 4 whole. Marcel has 3 feet of wood to make a project in industrial tech class. He needs to first cut the wood into 1/4. 1/4 pieces. Which of the following could be used to determine the number of pieces of wood Marcel can make? So he started with 3 lumber wood. He's dividing it into fourths. So that's how you write it as an expression, division expression. So how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like they're started with 3 holes. Each one because of the fourth. 3 times 4 is 12. Wonder how I can get 12 from this. Mrs. Flower has 8 yards of ribbon to make bows for a holiday wreath. She needs 2/5 of a bow of a yard for each bow. So let's divide this into fifths. Which of the following could be used to determine the number of bows? So she started with 8 yards. She's dividing it into 2/5. C is the answer again. So it's how many 2/5 going to be? So this is 1/5. This is 1/5. That makes a bow. This is 1/5. This is 1/5. This makes a bow. This is 1/5. This is 1/5. It makes a bow. So every 2/5 will make a bow. So let's count the number of bows you'll have. Every 2/5 will make a bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 bows of 2/5. 20 bows of 2/5 will make 8 yards. So let's match this first. Louisa has 10 yards of ribbon. How many fourths or 1/4 yard bows can she make? So it's asking, you have 10 yards, you're dividing it into fourths. So do I see it here? I think we're missing one. Hey, we're missing G. So there would be a G that says 10 divided by 1/4. Russell has 4 pounds of candy. He offered each of his friends 1/10 pound of candy. How many friends will receive candy? So he started with 4 and he's dividing it into tenths. That's F. Jonathan has 40 yards of rope. How many 10-foot ropes can he make? So he starts with 40, dividing to 10. That's A. A recipe calls for 4 cups of flour. The only measuring cup Maria has holds 1/4. How many fourths will fit into 4 cups? So you start with 4, you're dividing it into fourths. So our second lesson now is what are reciprocals? In order to know how to divide fraction, you have to know what reciprocals are. Reciprocals are the flipping of a fraction. But what's the true mathematical definition? It's when you start with a fraction or start with a number and then you multiply by another number, another fraction, and it equals a product of one whole. So it's like you've done nothing to it. So you multiply by something, multiply by another number, and it equals one whole. So 1/2. If I multiply by 2 over 1, or do the reciprocal of it by switching the numerator with the denominator, it's 2, 1. It equals 1 whole. So the reciprocal is 2, 1, or 2. So 1/3. What can I multiply 1/3 by to get 1 whole? Let's do the reciprocal of it. 3, 1. So the reciprocal is 3, 1. 1/3 times 3, 1 is 1 whole. You have 2/3. The reciprocal of it, 3/2. You get 6, 6, which is 1 whole. So it is. So reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. What is the reciprocal of 3/4? 4/3. And 3/4 times 4/3 is 1 whole. What's the reciprocal of 4? So you have 4, you have to switch it. Let's think. 4, I switch it, so 4 goes here. So what goes with 1/4? Reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. Because 4 can be written as a fraction as 4, 1. Switch it, 1/4. 6. 6 starts here. I switch it, so 6 goes here. So 1/6 is the reciprocal. 1 2/3. Well, first of all, is that an improper fraction? No. What would it be as an improper fraction? 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5/3. I do the switching of it, 3/5. So the reciprocal of 5/3 is 3/5. 1 3/4. 1 3/4 is 7/4. Reciprocal of it is 4/7, 4/7. So again, reciprocal is the switching of the numerator with the denominator. Why do we do it? So it can help us to divide fractions. Another reason is when you multiply two numbers, that and a reciprocal equals 1 whole. So before we start dividing, let's see what we remember about the relationship of adding and subtraction. Then we're going to do the relationship of multiplying and dividing. Can you rewrite the subtraction expression as an addition expression? So did you know every subtraction problem can be written as an addition expression? So some people use add the opposite, some people use keep change flip. I do add the opposite, add opposite. So -3 plus 4 is what? Add the opposite, 7 plus 2 is 9. Add the opposite, -6 plus -6 is -12. Add opposite, 4 plus -6 is -2. So a subtraction expression can be rewritten as an addition expression. Did you know a multiplication or division expression can be rewritten as a multiplication expression? And that's what we're going to be focusing now on our lesson with reciprocal. Mr. Joe spent 4 hours on his date with Tyra. Oh. Every 4/5 hour, divided into 5th, every 4/5 hours, she got a phone call. She was bored with him. Wow, yeah. How many times did she receive a phone call? Complete the sketch. So every 4/5 phone call, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call. So she received 5 phone calls every 4/5 an hour. So how would you set up as a division expression? 4 hours divided into 4/5. How many 4/5 go into 4 whole? This can be written as a multiplication expression. So let's see how I came with this. I kept the first number. I changed the division to a multiplication, and I flip the 4/5 to 5. Oh, that should be 5/4 right there. 5/4. So it'd be 20 over 4 is 5 whole. So the question is 4 divided by 2/5, 4 divided by 4/5 equivalent to 4 times 5/4? It is. So just like in subtraction to addition expression, we use add the opposite, and some of you use keep, change, flip. It's the same thing with division to multiplication. Some of you may have learned this past it. You keep it, you change it, you flip it. So 4 groups of 5/4 is equal to 5 wholes. So 4 groups of 5/4 adds up to 20 over 4 or 5 whole. Or you could draw the picture. How many groups of 4/5 go into 4 whole? 5 groups. A neighborhood development is that a 6 acre is to be divided into 2/3 acres lot. How many lots can be created? So I have 6 acres. I would like to divide it into 2/3 lots. Can I write this as an equivalent multiplication? So keep the 6, multiplication. You do the reciprocal of the second one, 3/2. So we have 6 groups of 3/2. 6 groups of 3/2. That would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 halves, or 9 lots. Or you could do 6, 1 times 3/2 is 18 over 2, or 9 lots. So how do you turn a division expression to a multiplication expression? So look, I kept it, I changed it, and I flipped it, or do the reciprocal. Next one. Problem. Rewrite each problem as an equivalent multiplication expression. 8. I changed this to a multiplication, and I flipped this to 5/2. So what's 8 groups of 5/2? 5 half, 5. It's 40/2, or 20. Or 8 over 1 times 5/2 is 40 over 2. What's another way to rewrite this as a multiplication? 3. Keep it, change it, and then let's see. What's the reciprocal of 5/8? 8/5. So you get 3 groups of 8/5 is 24/5, or how many groups of 5 go in 24? 4 groups, 4 and 4/5. So how do you rewrite problems as, how do you rewrite a problem as an equivalent multiplication expressions? You keep the first number, you turn the division to a multiplication, and you do the reciprocal of the second number. So some people use, you keep the first, change this to a multiplication, and you flip that. And that's how you do dividing fractions with whole numbers.